Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are going to do a updated state of the game room video. I've gotten a lot of requests recently to see an updated video of the garage. So that's what we're gonna do. It's been about 3 years since we did a walkthrough video. There's been some changes, there's been some additions. Has there been? I don't think there's been any subtractions, but there's some new stuff. Definite new decor, stuff on the walls, a couple new games that we added since the last walkthrough video. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna warn you guys now, this is gonna be a long video. Whenever I post videos like this, I get a lot of questions. Where'd you get that from? How much did you pay for that? I noticed, in your one video, I see this, what's in that? What is this? What's the history behind that? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to try and go through and talk about all these games and try, if I can remember, to let everyone know like where I got them from, how much I paid for them, what I've done to them, what we've added to them, all that good stuff. So this is definitely going to be the longest video I've probably ever put on YouTube. So just warning you now. I've had other gameplay videos where people are like, this is too long. You didn't have to do all that. Like, you could have just told us, blah, blah, blah. So if you're not into long videos, this video is not for you. But yeah, try and go through, talk about everything, let you know where everything came from, what we've done to it and all that good stuff. So I'm going to turn all these games on and we will walk through and talk about them. So yeah, I appreciate you hanging out. Grab a drink, put some headphones on if you're at work and just listening, whatever you want to do. So if there's anything that I missed, let me know. And I'll try and answer questions. Hopefully I'm thorough enough to where we don't have to have any other questions, but I'm sure I'll forget to mention things with these games. But I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching, so let's do it. All right, we will start here. This is where we started last time. So this is our NBA Jam Tournament Edition cabinet. I mean, it's just a standard NBA Jam cabinet, but it was turned into Tournament Edition. This is the game that got me into the hobby. First game I ever bought back in 2003. So I bought an NBA Jam on eBay. I was living in Northern California at the time. It was in Los Angeles, so I shipped it. I paid $400 for it, plus whatever shipping was at the time. And I didn't realize when I got it, it wasn't a dedicated cabinet. So it came in a Konami cabinet that was painted black. But it was fine. But once I really got into this hobby, I realized I didn't have an actual dedicated cabinet. So this cabinet right here is actually my third NBA Jam that I've owned. I ended up selling the Konami cabinet that I had, and then I got another NBA Jam, and then I ended up selling that. Somebody was looking for one and offered me an insane amount of money for it. And then this one I got right before I moved back to San Diego in 2011 from my buddy Mark. He had hooked me up with some awesome deals in the past, and a couple weeks before I was moving, he texted me and was like, hey, I got an NBA Jam cabinet for you, 150 bucks. So drove out to where he was at, paid $150 for this thing. It's got a topper on it, which I like, and then we are running the NBA, oh geez, what is it called? Rewind, Volume 1. It's the hack that has Michael Jordan in it. I posted a video on my YouTube channel about that, and it's gotten almost 60,000 views, which is insane to me. I didn't realize that this was that popular still. So this has, let's see here, the side art is in good shape. I mean, it's a little faded, most of these cabinets are. I replaced all the buttons and joysticks in it, but this control panel overlay is original. It's in okay shape, like, looks pretty good. I rebuilt this monitor probably I didn't even realize it was before I moved into this house. So it's been almost 10 years, but it looks great. So yeah, the monitor was rebuilt. Have I done anything else to this? Oh, there's a Riddle TV switcher in here. So, this thing boots to NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and then you can hold the Player 1 and Player 2 start buttons. Oops. And it switches, it'll boot up real quick, to NBA Max Hang Time. So I have both boards in this cabinet, and you just hold those two buttons down. Let's see if we can get this to cycle through. Come on, there we go. And we have maximum hang time. So both games in one cabinet, I love that. I think it's great. And then to switch back, you just hold the 2 buttons down again. And it switches back. So highly recommended. Riddle TV, the switchers on his site, he has like multi-game switchers. You can put like up to 6 boards in one cabinet. I just have these 2 boards running in it. So I think that's it for NBA Jam. So this is our Golden Tee Live 2021. I bought this from my buddy Brad on Clav in 2019 as a 2019 cabinet. He said it was on, where was this? It was in like a Sprint, like the telephone store Sprint, like at a campus where they did stuff. Like, I don't know, they did trainings or whatever they did. But this thing hardly got played. So this cabinet is absolutely mint. It is darn near perfect. I had this shipped from where he's at, is he in Wisconsin? I think he's in Wisconsin. So back in 2019, Golden Tee Live Home Editions, the pedestals were $3,900, I think, plus shipping. So it would have cost you probably $4,200 or $4,300 to get a Golden Tee Live. I want to say I paid $2,000 for this. So this is the most I've ever spent on a video game. But it was worth it to me. So it's in the older cabinet. What have we done to this? I put a new trackball in it when I got it, and then I took the CRT monitor out and replaced it with a flat screen HD TV, only because the Golden Tee Live games are built for that. They're supposed to be played on HD flat screen TV. So that's what we did to that. I think the TV I got on Amazon, it's a TCL TV, it's cheap. I got it for like $100. So upgraded the 2019 to 2021. PGA Tour has recently come out, so IT's not going to do a whole lot more as far as the Golden Tee Live series, I don't think. I think for a couple more years. So I don't know if I'll upgrade this again. I'm not sure. Those new cabinets, the PGA Tour ones, are like $5,000. Maybe one day, I have no idea. But this cabinet's great. This game is one of the most played games we have out here. Everyone who comes over knows this game and plays this game. So it's one that I'll never get rid of. If I were to upgrade, I would do that, but I will always have a Golden Tee out here just because everybody loves this game. So yeah, this thing's been rock solid for 4 years now. Love it. So this is our Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting in our big blue cabinet. I got this cabinet back in like 2018, I think. I got it as a Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I ended up trading for this cabinet. It had been for sale, and I worked out a trade. I traded, let's see here, what did we trade? I traded my Missile Command Cabaret and my Elevator Action for this cabinet. So I gave up 2 games for 1, but Street Fighter 2 was just one of those games that I grew up obsessed with, and I always wanted to have hyper fighting. So I had Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo for the last 4 years, finally found a hyper fighting PCB, and I ended up selling the Super Street Fighter Turbo board. So I've done nothing to this. This cabinet is also really, really nice. It came, you know, the control panel overlay is really clean. It had new buttons and sticks. The bezel's nice. The monitor is amazing. The only thing I did is I replaced this marquee. There was the Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo marquee. I got this on eBay. It's a repro. It's not perfect, but it doesn't look bad. It's got the piece of art, and then it came with a little piece of plastic that you just put together, threw it in there. So I think I paid $50 for that. So I didn't pay for this game, I traded for it. So I've put $50 into this game because of that right there. So yeah, I love this game. This game is iconic for me. It's my favorite fighting game of all time. And I'm just super stoked to have a big blue cabinet. These came in a bunch of different cabinets, but this is the one that I remember playing as a kid. So I should do a video on that. I never did an actual video of when I got that board, but we have our Williams base hit. It's an electromechanical pinball machine. This is actually my dad's, but it is living here for the rest of its life, it seems. He got this on eBay. He bought it. This is a game that he grew up playing and had been looking for one for years. He got it on eBay. I don't know what he paid for it, but he shipped it from Florida. And then he actually had the whole thing restored. So it is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's sandwiched, you know, between the wall and this game, so you can't see it, but it's immaculate. It's so clean and just so awesome. The stencils of this game are rad. It's a fun game. It's really simple. There's a video on my channel about this, but you have two players. Someone pitches and someone hits. This little bat hits balls. There's ramps. The little guys run bases. This game's from 1967, I think, so easily the oldest game, and our only pinball machine. But the boys love it, and when they have friends over, they play it a bunch. It's not really anything you can do I mean, you could play by yourself if you want to like pitch to yourself and hit, but it's really not that fun. It gets fun when you're playing against someone, you're talking smack and like bumping into each other, trying to mess them up. It's good times. But yeah, I mean, obviously I had no memory of this game. This was way before my time, but it's a really fun game. So up on the walls, we have movie posters, and people probably say, why do you have movie posters? Growing up, I played a lot of arcade games at our movie theaters when we would go to the movies. So these are some of my favorite movies, and they also kind of go with the theme of what they're hanging over. So base hit, we have Major League is baseball. The Street Fighter, Bloodsport, one of the greatest movies of all time. Golden Tee, have a Caddyshack poster, love that movie. And then over NBA Jam, we have White Men Can't Jump. So these posters came from movieposters.com. They're all repros, they're not original. And then I buy the frames on Amazon. So frames, I think 2 packs, I think they're like 40 bucks or like 20 bucks a frame. These are all 24 by 36 posters, so they take up a good amount of space on the wall. They look good. I'm not trying to get into like the OG original movie poster game. Some of those posters are like 150 bucks. I'm like, no, I'm not paying 150 bucks for posters hanging out in my garage. So that's where those came from. I think it makes for fun wall art, which looks cool, you know, with these games. So we still have our Nintendo banner covering the little window of the garage. Got that on Amazon. I think I paid like 20 bucks for that. Got it years ago. We have our Home Alone movie poster. Greatest Christmas movie of all time, do not at me. It's just not even a discussion. So that one's up here. It's fun during the holiday times. I'll watch Home Alone even when it's not Christmas time. So it deserved a spot on the wall. This is our Hams banner. Oh, I forgot to turn on, hold on a second, let's turn this thing on too. There we go. This is our Hams banner. I got that. I think that was another Amazon purchase. Love hams, and I love that banner. Trying to have hams in the garage, in the fridge all the time out here. And this is our Red Rum banner. I got this years ago. My buddy Jared, who I get all my slice beer from, I want to say one of his friends in college worked for Red Rum, and we somehow all got, I think he got one of these too. We all got these banners. I've had this literally, this has made like 4 different moves for me, from house to house to house. So another something to put on the wall. I like it. This Coors Light neon, this was my dad's, he gave it to me. I think this is from the 90s. I tried to ask him what year this was from and he couldn't remember, but it's really, really cool. I love these neons. It's the old Coors Light can, silver bullet. And then on top of these games, we've got a little Tom Brady bobblehead. We've got our Will Clark 89 NLCS MVP, little statue guy. We have our Joe Boo figurine. He still has his Christmas hat on. It's very festive still. Then we have a couple hats on top of these games. So it's fun just to have like little, you know, decorative stuff out here. But yeah, back to the game. So this is our Zookeeper, our only Taito game that we have. The best Taito game, in my opinion. 1982, I think this game is from. I got this game back in 2010. So we've had this for 13 years now. I paid $750 for this game, which at the time was insane. I had no business buying it. I really didn't have the money. I sold some stuff, and I should not have been spending that money on this game, but I fell in love with this game at California Extreme, and I was like, I have to have one. So back then, $750 was a lot for a game, but Zookeeper to me was worth it. So what have we done to this game? I replaced the marquee lights in this. A bunch of those were burnt out. This marquee it's flaked, but it's original. It looks good. The colors still look really good. But we did that. Everything else is original on this. The bezel's nice. The control panel overlay is really nice. The artwork is in great shape. Story goes with this game, it was in, I want to say it was in a convenience store. And then the guy who owned the convenience store either closed the store down or something happened and it went into his house it sat for like 25 years. So it's really, really nice. I had a bunch of board problems with this game years ago, and I decided just to put the J-Rock board in it. So it's running the Zoo Q board. You would have no idea if I didn't tell you that. It plays exactly like the original hardware. And then we rebuilt the monitor probably 3 years ago. So it's been great. Looks awesome. This is another game that when people come over, even if they've never heard of it before, they play a ton of it. So I love this game. Another game I would never get rid of. These go for stupid money these days. So there's that. Still have our Mario Brothers. This is a scratch built cabinet. I've mentioned this on a lot of videos in the past. It's still not finished. I never finished the side art or painting it or doing vinyl or whatever we were going to do with it. So it's still bare wood, but the marquee, the bezel, the control panel the control panel with the overlay, and the front of this cabinet are all from an original Mario wide body. And then the guy who built it did the sides and then put a base on it. So it's in great shape. I love this game. I think I paid $350 for this, and I actually had a Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 years ago that I got rid of, and I took the money from selling that game and bought this game with it. I just figured it was more friendly for the kids. That was back when my kids were like 5 and 4, and they love this game. So it has the, what's the high score save kit? Shoot, who the heck makes that? Bray's high score, I think. You can find them online, but saves high scores. It's not on free play though, because the way that, since this is a scratch built cabinet, they didn't do all the wiring to the board, so I can't get into the menu. So you have to be able to go into the menu to set it to free play. So there's no free play on this. Maybe I'll do that one day. I have no idea. But you can just coin it up and then it saves high scores. So this, for me, I think it's the best 2-player simultaneous game. It's iconic. And it's funny because as a kid, I remember getting my Nintendo in 1985, and Super Mario Brothers was the first game I ever played. And then when I saw this game, I was like, what the hell is this game? I had no idea this came before that, but it makes a lot of sense when you play it. They basically took this game and made it side-scrolling for Super Mario Brothers. But yeah, it's good stuff. This control panel overlay is really nice. It's got OG Nintendo sticks and buttons. So we'll finish this one day. I forgot to mention this little guy. I have 1, 2, 3 of these. The games plug into these, so you can turn them off and on. All the games don't have to be on at the same time, so it makes it nice. It allows for me just to come out. If I want to play one game, I can just turn one game on and then leave the rest off. So I have one here. There's one underneath this pinball machine, and then there's one over on top of the other punch out that we have. But yeah, these are I bought these years ago. They were like $20. They're probably a little bit more expensive now, but definitely worth having if you have a bunch of games. So let's see here. This is our Donkey Kong. I love Donkey Kong. This is the second Donkey Kong I've owned. I forgot to tell you guys, this is the second Mario Brothers I've owned. I had another one that was pretty gnarly and ended up selling it years ago and bought this one. I forgot to mention that, but this is the second Donkey Kong cabinet I've owned. Let's see here. The first one I got from my uncle. I actually went over to his house one day to help him install a ceiling fan in his house, and he had a Donkey Kong Jr. cabinet, and he gave it to me as like a thank you for helping him. So I had that game for years. Ended up selling it before I moved down to San Diego because I didn't have room when we moved. So I got rid of a bunch of games, which really bummed me out. But ended up getting this right. Actually, now that I'm telling that story, I got this right before we moved. Again, Mark, same NBA Jam Mark. He picked this up in a bulk buy and it didn't work, and he sold it to me for $50. So it ended up, the monitor chassis had a big crack in it, and then the board had some issues. And my buddy, oh man, I forgot that too. My buddy Greg ended up fixing the board for me and the monitor. So Greg actually just passed away recently. It's weird telling that story. I just hadn't thought about this game in a while, but telling the history behind this game, it made me remember that, and it just fucking bummed me out. But it's pretty cool. Like, the board has a little sticker that had his name saying he serviced it. So just remembering that right now, it's rad that I have this. I'll never get rid of this game. But this cabinet's not in the best shape. It's not perfect, but it's fine. It's playable. This also has a switcher in it. I got the switcher from, where did I get the switcher from? I don't remember. But when you hold down player 2 and press player 1, I think, it switches over to our DK Junior board. So it's fun having both of those games in here. This DK Junior also has the DK Junior Remix kit, so I think we hold the jump button. Let's see here. Yeah, and then we have Donkey Kong Junior Remix, which also saves high scores. And then on the Donkey Kong board, I have a video on my channel somewhere. It's got Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Remix. So there's like a total of 4 games in this cabinet, which is really, really cool. I haven't even really played Donkey Kong Junior Remix, but we have it. So, and then you just hold player 2, press player 1 again, it switches back to Donkey Kong. So it's nice having multiple games in single cabinets. Not that we're like, you know, hard off for space out here, but there you go. Still have our Miss Pac-Man Cabaret. Get out of this screen. That's running the 6-pack kit. Mark Spaeth has Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, and Pac Plus, the fast and slow version of all of those. We always have this game on Miss Pac-Man Fast. It boots right to it. I got this game from my man Griffin. There is a video of his former arcade space that he had at his house. Went to his house for his birthday the one year. Did a walkthrough. He had a fun setup. He kind of got out of the hobby, but I think he's sort of getting back into it. He's got games again, but he sold this to me. I think I paid $450 for this game, which was a great deal in my opinion. I love these little cabarets. Everything's in good shape. We talked about there's this hot pursuit button I never got rid of, but control panel overlay is nice. The cabinet's in nice shape. Marquee's in nice shape. This is the second Miss Pac-Man I've owned. The first one I had, let's see here, when I first started collecting, I had 3 games in my collection. I had NBA Jam, I had Miss Pac-Man, and I had Dr. Mario. So, yeah, I ended up, that cabinet that I had was a mess, and I ended up putting a 60 in one in it, which was cool, and then I sold that before I moved too. But this is the second Miss Pac-Man we've owned. It's a fun game, and I love having all 3 of the Pac-Man variants in that. So this game gets a lot of play. I love Miss Pac-Man. Still have our Outrun Mini. It has the high score save kit, so it saves our scores. You can see some of them here. What have we done to this? I put a marquee light in it. It didn't come factory with a marquee light, but it looks so much better when it's lit up like that. I bought this game on eBay and had it shipped from Florida. So I paid $375 for the game, but I think I paid more for that in shipping, which was a bummer. This is the, let's see here, 3rd Outrun I've owned. I had a couple uprights, and I ended up getting rid of them because there was no free play and high score save option back then, and this game on free play is a nightmare. So once the free play kit came with high score save, I was like, I need another Outrun, and I love the look of this cabinet. I love the Mini, so I ended up buying it, and I paid more for it to ship. I got this back in 2011, so we've had this for 12 years. I replaced the B gear. We got a little Ferrari emblem for it. This is an actual, I think this is original. God, it's not going to focus on that, huh? But yeah, we put that on there. Replaced the B gear. It cracked from the kids playing it. These are known to do that. And then we just recently rebuilt this monitor, so it looks really nice. I mean, it looks bad on camera right now because of these stupid lines, but this game is a game I have fond memories of. I played a ton as a kid, spent a lot of allowance money on Outrun. So I love having this, and so do the kids. There's our golf clubs in the corner. So this is new from the last video we did. Super Hang-On is back. This is the second time I have owned this Super Hang-On. I bought this when I first moved back to San Diego. It was one of the first games that I bought. And when I ended up moving into a different house, I didn't have enough room for all the games in the game room that I had. So I had to sell something, and we decided to sell this one, which was a bummer. I missed it. I sold it to my buddy Fly. So I bought this game on Craigslist for $150. It didn't work. It ended up being a board issue, and I had found a Super Hang-On board on eBay that was untested, and it was 75 bucks. So I bought it on a whim, and it ended up working. So I had about 225 bucks into this game total. When I sold it to Hector, I decided I bought it for 150. I'm not going to count like the board. I needed to get rid of it, so I sold it to him for 150 bucks. And he was stoked on the price, and he said, if you ever want to buy this back, I will give you first dibs on it. And 10 years later, we posted a video on the channel when I brought this back home. He was like, I'll sell it back to you at about the same price. So I ended up paying 200 bucks for this to get it back. It's back. I love this game. I'm having some board issues with this right now. The sounds are not working, so I'm going to send it off to get fixed. There's a guy that repairs Sega stuff that I guess, Sega stuff is kind of weird, and a lot of stuff can't be fixed, but he's going to check it out and see if he can get it working again. But as it sits, you can play it. It doesn't have sound, which is a bummer because the music in this game is awesome. This too has a free play high score save kit. I got the ROMs for that burned from Jimbo Dini on Clov. Thanks, bro. And it just makes it to where you can have this on free play and not have it just cycle over and over and over. So it's fun having these two Sega racers next to each other in the garage. Monitor for this one was recently rebuilt, so it looks great. I need to adjust it though. It's a little off-centered. I just noticed that, but yeah, these are two of my favorite racing games of all time, and they're side by side in the garage. I love it. So, Super Punch-Out. This is the second Super Punch-Out that I've owned. I had one again before I moved that I sold to try and get rid of stuff before I came down here. I ended up trading for this game. What did we trade for this game? Gosh, look at that monitor. It needs to be rebuilt. But so I had a championship sprint and a track and field that I traded for this one game. But I did that probably 10 years ago, and back then I thought that was a good deal. These days, with the prices of everything, it's insane, but whatever. I love Super Punch-Out, and I wanted it back. So this cabinet needs a lot of love. I haven't done anything to it. The control panel overlay needs love. The buttons need replaced, but it plays fine. Really, really fun game. Sequel to Punch-Out. I had no idea this game existed. I only ever played this on Super Nintendo. And then when I saw that there was an arcade version of it, I was like, I need that. So decide, commit, succeed, right? Good stuff. What do we have up here? We have I've never even taken this out of the box yet. It's a Julian Edelman little statue from the catch he made in Super Bowl 51 against the Falcons, greatest football game of all time. This is a little Rob Gronkowski signed football. And this is a little Jaws arcade light that I got from my buddy Gak. He made that a long time ago. So yeah, that's Super Punch-Out. Don't know if you guys are fans of this game. Love it. This is our Atari 2-bin with one of the coolest marquees ever, little waterfall marquee. This is the second 2-bin I've owned. The first one I got again from Mark, same Mark, NBA Jam and Donkey Kong. I used to get all kinds of games from him. It was awesome. And I took that 2-bin and I ended up trading it for the red tent that I have. So, which then got traded. I'll get to that when we get to the red tent. But originally I had a 2-bin, traded it for a red tent, which was a fun deal in my opinion. But this game came from a generous lady by the name of Van of Supercade fame. She was trying to make room and clean out a storage facility, and I had been talking to her, and we had been talking about how much I love this game. I'm one of the few people I think that loves this game. A lot of people hate this game for whatever dumb reason. It's such a fun 2-player simultaneous game, but she was like, I know that you're not someone who's going to flip games, blah blah blah. She was like, I need room. You can have this game for free. You just have to promise you will never get rid of it. So I have kept that promise. This game was free. And she gave me the little gator decals that we put on the side of the cabinet. Other than that, this cabinet's in great shape. There's some lock bar holes, which is typical for a lot of these games, but control panel overlay is in really good shape. The marquee is in good shape. And then this monitor also was just rebuilt recently, so looks really, really nice. Fun 2-player game, all buttons, no joysticks or trackball. But it's got that, it's from Atari, late 80s Atari. Like, they were just, the graphics and the sounds, everything's really, really fun about this game. So that is 2-bin. We have our 720, one of my favorite games of all time. This is the third 720 I've owned. Bought one on eBay a long, long time ago. Took a while to get it working. Same kind of thing with the NBA Jam thing with 720. Someone offered me a ridiculous amount of money for it, so I sold it. And then I bought another one. And then again, someone offered me a ridiculous amount of money for it, so I sold it. And then when I moved back down to San Diego, I was like, I want a 720 again. So I ended up buying this and a mini bulk buy from my buddy John. I think my buddy Kalen had this first, and then John ended up with it. And then I bought, what did I buy from him? I bought 720, Championship Sprint, and Elevator Action. And I think I paid, I want to say I paid like $1,800 for all three of those games back then, which was a great deal. So I eventually ended up taking Elevator Action and trading that for our Street Fighter cabinet, and then I traded the Championship Sprint for Super Punch-Out. So I turned my $1,800 investment into 720, Super Punch-Out, and my Street Fighter Big Blue cabinet. So I kind of feel like I came out all right in that deal. Trading, I love trading games. It's so much more fun than buying them. But this cabinet, like most 720s, the artwork is yellowed and it needs side art and all that good stuff. But I just play this game. I love playing this game. The cabinet needs a lot of love, but it works. This game, I don't think I've done anything to it. There was a bad video plug on this that got replaced. I think in my last video, the colors were wrong maybe. And then there was a time where you would turn this on and like the monitor wouldn't work, and it had nothing to do with the monitor. It was the video plug that was bad. So yeah, I mean, it could use a dust washer, whatever, it works. What's this game from 1986? Some of the greatest music ever in a game. Super hard game. This game does not get played by people who come over just because this joystick turns in a 360-degree motion. People are kind of intimidated by it, but I love it. I'll never get rid of 720. This is our Centipede. This was the game that actually got me into the hobby, so to speak. This is my dad's. He bought this for my mom years ago on eBay. And I was like, you can buy video games? You can buy arcade games? What the hell? And he was like, yeah, come over and play it. So went to his house the one weekend, played it all weekend. I was like, I need to get some arcade games. I don't know what he paid for this, but this was at his house for like 15 years. And a couple years back, him and my mom were cleaning out their garage, and this was sitting in their garage, and my dad was like, dude, come get this out of here and have it at your house so that you guys play it. That wasn't getting played over there. So I still haven't replaced the marquee light. It needs a light, but replaced the monitor in this years ago, so it's nice. This has the high score save kit. And the only thing I've done to this is I replaced the trackball. So it's super buttery and clean, but the cabinet's in good shape. The side art's all right. There's a video of this on my channel if you want to check it out. But yeah, this game's from 81, I think. I had no memory of Centipede. I never played this as a kid, but as an adult, this game's super challenging to me. I really, really enjoy it. So we still have our candy machine, which I need to get rid of this. We don't do anything with it. We still have our bird. I talked about this on my last walkthrough video. Paid 75 bucks for that thing. It's amazing. Oh, we have a Goonies poster over here. One of my favorite 80s movies. One of my favorite movies, period. Another poster that was bought on movieposters.com. Frame from Amazon. We have we have our It's Miller Time banner hanging here because it's always Miller Time out here. I realized this past year that I love Miller Lite. It's a good beer for macro light beers. Did some blind battle beers stuff with it. Good times. Anyways, food fight. I got this game in 2010, I think, from my buddy Kevin. This was on the floor at California Extreme for years, and I played it every time I would go to California Extreme, and I freaking loved it and wanted one really, really bad. Food fights back then were always $1,000 plus. This cabinet has a little bit of water damage, so it's not perfect. You can see it's kind of swollen, and it's got a little bit of the orange peel on it, but I paid $500 for this cabinet, and I think that's a good deal because these days food fights, even shitty ones, go for $3 grand. So I've done nothing to this. All the artwork is original. The marquee is the original glass marquee. The bezel is in really nice shape. CPO's in good shape. The artwork's nice. Like, everything about this is nice. The only thing is the bellows of this joystick are shot. But I've played this so much with that, like, I don't want to replace it. I'm used to playing it with a weird joystick. But this game is another game that just we play the heck out of. My buddy Todd loves this game. He comes over and we play head-to-head on this all the time. So this is another game I would never get rid of it just because it gets so much play. The kids love this game. I love this game. That's such a great game. So we have our Tapper. Tapper is an extremely fun game. I started having board problems again with this. I don't know what is going on with it. I don't know if it's the power supply. I mean, you can play it, but I got this game from my buddy Griffin, same Griffin that I got the Miss Pat Cabaret from. He got it in a bulk buy and it didn't work when he bought it. So he gave me the bro hookup for this. I think I paid 500 bucks for this game, which is crazy. But it didn't work, so I had to do a bunch of stuff to it. I ended up sourcing a new board, I think. I've put some money into this, but this is just a perfect game for out here with all the beer stuff that we do. And it's just a really, really fun game. Side art is awesome. It's, faded a little bit, but that's normal for these tappers. I don't think I've done anything artwork-wise to this. Marquee's original, bezel's original, control panel overlay is original. I did buy these little coaster covers. These came from Slick Nick on Clov. So it's kind of a fun little thing. But yeah, it's got the footstool, or footrest. It's nice. I love Tapper. Fun Valley Midway game. So, still have our Paperboy, because this game will never leave. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I bought this game in 2007-ish, I think. Yeah, so I've had this for about 15 years. Got this from Kevin, same Kevin that I got my food fight from. And I mean, this was years earlier, but this cabinet also was on the floor at California Extreme forever. And I played this exact cabinet at California Extreme. And one of my first arcade game memories was of my dad playing Paperboy at a local 7-Eleven. He actually played both of these games, Paperboy and Punch-Out, but always wanted one. Like I said, I bought this 15 years ago. I got it for $450. So these days, these games are stupid. people are paying $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 I've seen for these games, which is just insanity. But yeah, I'll never get rid of this game. Everything on this is original. The only thing we've done to this, I've replaced all the gears and the handlebar controls. A lot of them broke. So we replaced those, but other than that, I need to rebuild this, get this monitor dialed in at some point. But yeah, this game's really, really fun. What are these? Oh, these are our tokens that we got from Ty. I've had these up there forever. I used to have a Paperboy handheld and I don't know what happened to it. It bums me out. I don't know what happened to it. So, love, love, love Paperboy, 1984 from Atari. And then we have Punch-Out, which is the prequel to Super Punch-Out. This is the second Punch-Out I've owned. Again, I had a Punch-Out prior that I got rid of before I moved. And then when I moved back down here, gosh, looking at this thing needs so much work done. But I bought this and a Dragon's Lair together. They were both projects. So I paid $750 for both games. Ended up getting rid of the Dragon's Lair. I sold that, recouped almost all the money for both of these games. But yeah, this cabinet needs a ton of work, but it plays great. It's Punch-Out. Again, one of the first memories I have of video games is Punch-Out and Paperboy. That's why they're here together next to each other. So, control panel overlay needs to be replaced. These buttons aren't right. Joystick's right, and it has the big blue knockout button. But yeah, like I said, these things, they work fine. So we come out here and play the crap out of them. Someday I'll do all the cosmetic work on these, but until then, you know what? We just play them. So that's our little Amazon Echo. We play music out here with that. This is a Paperboy banner I got on Amazon years ago. It's fun. It takes up a lot of real estate on the wall, but it hangs over our Paperboy machine. This is a original Gravatar poster. I don't even remember where I got that from. I have no clue where that came from, but it's on the wall because it's fun. Blockbuster banner. Got that on Amazon years ago. Blockbuster Video, if you know, you know, back in the 90s, this, it was Friday nights at Blockbuster was an experience. Love Blockbuster. We have our California flag because we are Californians. I've lived here my entire life. I fucking love California. I would never live anywhere else. We have our Slice anniversary posters. I have the 3rd year anniversary one. I need to get that for my buddy Jared to add that. And then another movie poster on this wall, Team America. I got that as a birthday present a long time ago. I fucking love that movie so hard. And then this is a little Lagunitas Waldo's giveaway from when they used to do kegs only of that. So still have, this is our little sports area. These are our sofa tables. I mentioned in the last video, I had these made for me. My buddy Chuck made these. If you want to buy them, they're not cheap, which is why I went that route. He does stuff like that, so he built these, and they're amazing. This one's 9 feet long, I think, and this one is 6 feet long. So 4 people sit comfortably here, 2 people sit comfortably here. This couch was an old sofa that we had, or an old sofa, couch, what is it? Old couch that our boys had in their playroom. I brought it out here just to make this a more livable, usable space. And then we have our TVs. These are same TVs from the last video, TCL TVs. The top TV is a 65-inch TV, and then these 2 bottom TVs are 40-inch TVs. So I don't know if you can tell the size of them in this video, but they're good sized TVs. It takes up almost the entire garage wall. So yeah, I have, for the time being, not very much longer, but I have DirecTV. So these 3 TVs each have their own DirecTV box hooked up to them. So that's how you watch different channels. But now that YouTube is going to have the NFL package, I'm going to finally get to tell DirecTV to suck it. So I cannot wait to call them and tell them to come take their dish off my house. They just had us by the you-know-what for years because of the NFL package. So I'm very much looking forward to that. We're actually watching some playoff football right now. It's divisional weekend. Cincinnati is doing what I thought Cincinnati was going to do. But there's still a little bit of game left here. We'll see what happens. Joe Burrow is a freaking stud, man. But I always, I do my beer reviews with this in the background. It's fun. We always have old WWF wrestling on, and then whatever else is on TV. We have fights out here. We have fights out here. We watch the fights out here. It's fun during football season on Sundays. If I'm home, typically I'm not anymore. But prior to my kids being travel baseball players and playing every Sunday, we used to hang out and there'd be football on all 3 screens. Fun times. So have our little WWF Attitude Era banner hanging. We have our Patriots banner here. These are just little storage, what are these? Storage cabinets. This one has a bunch of arcade stuff, I think. Let's see here. Oh, do we need to do this? Yeah, this has like PCBs are in here. There's tools, there's microphones, there's all kinds of random stuff. So that's that one. And then in here, a lot of people have asked for glassware videos. This one has some of the glassware. It's ridiculous how much glassware I have. There's so much more inside too, but this has a bunch of the glassware that I use for my beer videos. We got these at Target. My wife bought them. So this is a little Nintendo Lego thing that the boys put together. We put out here. It's just kind of appropriate for for the theme of the garage. And then we have our beer refrigerator. This is our sticker collection. But this fridge is solely for beer. So it's typically full, but we've put a good dent in it here recently. I still have a bunch of stuff I gotta shoot videos on, but that's our beer fridge. Have a couple footballs from the Super Bowl. My parents went to the Super Bowl in Miami a couple years ago, brought those back for the kids. We have our Patriots pub little sign, which is fun. Some more stuff on the wall. Have a Yingling sign, Forbidden Root, it's Upgrade. Modern Times Ice Pennant. We have a little Prohibition poster that my parents got me for Christmas one year that we put out here. This little food fight banner I got on Amazon years ago. That's out here. I wanted to put this above the food fight, but there's nowhere to put it, so it hangs there. This is our little Christmas tree that I never put away a couple Christmases ago, so I've been collecting beer-themed ornaments. We have our Cheers Boston from when we went there, a couple permanent hangover ornaments. This is a kegerator that does not have kegs in it. It's got sours and some stouts. This is a little Dragon's Lair puzzle that I never opened. I got that for Christmas a couple years ago. The tap handles of the kegerator are, there's an old Atari 2600 controller and an old Nintendo controller. I don't even know where I got that Mario thing from. I think someone from the podcast sent me that. So, and then, is that it? Oh, shoot. Oh man, I didn't even turn this on. The red tent. This is where I sit and do my beer reviews. So the camera is here and it looks that way. This is where I sit. So I have owned this same red tent twice. I think I had mentioned before, I traded my original Tubin cabinet for this. And then years later, I traded this for a Warlord's cocktail, which is insane when you think about it. I don't have the Warlord's cocktail anymore. One of my biggest regrets in life is getting rid of that, but I needed some cash at the time and it was a lot of money, so I sold it. But I got this back. So I traded for this, then I traded it away, and then I rebought it from my buddy Andy, and I think I paid $400 for it. And I've got a bunch of boards for this. So it's running Dr. Mario and Super Mario Brothers. This Super Mario Brothers has the Matt Osborne high score save, which is cool. And you just press the player 1 button to start a game and you're off. But I love this red tent. It's really, really fun. I have so many fond memories of being at Pizza Hut playing this. So that's why we have it. And this is where we sit and do our beer reviews. So I guess the one glaring thing, we still don't have flooring. I had mentioned in the last video, which was March 21st of 2020 that I wanted to put flooring, and then COVID happened, and then you couldn't get stuff, and now the price of everything is super expensive, so we still have not done anything. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy just big rugs, just to cover the middle area. Maybe that'll be our goal of 2023, to get some flooring out here. I still have this little Pac-Man rug that my parents got me for, I think it was like a birthday or Christmas present maybe. But yeah, that's an updated walkthrough of the old garage. I think it looks way better out here now with more wall stuff and decorations, and you know, we added some stuff went away since the last video, but this is our garage. This is where we hang out. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. I told you guys this was going to be a long one. I'm hoping I answered a lot of the questions that I just get so many of the same question. Where'd you get that? How much was it? How did you do that? What have you done to that? So I tried to kind of go through all the games and explain all that stuff. So that is it. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Sorry for a super long video, but I will see you soon. Say bye, games. So the boys always just say when they're little, good night, games. We turn them all off. I miss them being little. See you guys.
Thank you for coming behind the bar, in the arcade, all that shit.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.